What's up, guys? Keyshawn Uchia here, back at you with another OT Universe What If. Now, I'm sorry if you hear any loud noise or anything in the background. That's my super sister playing some new music in the living room, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. But also, I have to give a shout out to S6. He will be putting the Discord link down in the description so y'all guys can join the Discord. And I know some of y'all wants to become the gods about become some gods a part of the round table, the galaxy round table, so I can put you on my what if, and yeah, I can give the main character some powers and stuff. But also that, and also that, but also I have an announcement to make. I wanted to work on some other videos yesterday, but my goddamn uncle came in and he kind of killed the vibe, so I couldn't really get no videos done. But today I'm going to make sure to try the best to get every single video done before he comes back, and I won't be too late. So, this is going to be part 2 of what if Deku was Dio Brando, you could say. Now, where we last pretty much left off, Deku was pretty much you could say talking to Jeffrey and talking to Bakugo about having a party you could say at Deku's house, which Deku agreed upon, which as he was walking under the bridge to take the shortcut into, you could say, the sludge building attack, and try to attack them, but before he can, attack anyone, Deku pretty much Zawado stopped time and pretty much Barak punching it, sent him scattering it, which All Might came in and pretty much was trying to figure out what the hell happened, but Deku didn't say anything and pretty much just gave All Might the thing and just walked away. Now, as that pretty much happened, you could say happened, Deku went in his house and just wait for everybody to come in while his two hybrids, because his creations he created, uh, lay beside him. Lay beside him while he sit on his throne. Now, let's get to the next parts and let's see how this will go in the story. Now, Deku was pretty much, you could say, talking to his vampire servants that he pretty much, turned into vampires on the ship, and some females around the area to get stronger and stuff. Uh, Deku, Deku was pretty much talking to him and saying, "Alright, everybody, I'm about to have a party, so keep it all cool and stuff. If you're going to turn anyone into a vampire, make sure to find like people who's worthy to become a vampire, not just turn anyone who's a vampire. And I don't care if they're looking hot or anything. If they don't bring anything onto the table, don't turn them into a vampires, or don't even drain their blood. Well, you can drain their blood, but don't turn them into vampires, which everybody agrees upon because no one knows. Everybody knows that if you no vampires dare go against Deku, because if you do that, you're going to get executed. You could say. Now, Deku was pretty much telling everybody to get the house prepared and stuff and get stuff ready. Now everybody's getting the house prepared and stuff's getting ready. Now people come inside, including Jeffrey, and everybody's excited and stuff, having a party for this you could say first day. It's not 10 months yet, but it's like the day of after school. Now all the kids are happy and stuff. They all excited of having a party and stuff. And Deku, everybody knows Deku, so everybody's cheering out, saying, "Yeah, Deku, this is a cool party and stuff." And Deku saying, "Yeah." Now, Deku goes in the back, goes pretty much in the back, and just goes and sit on the back. You could say sit on the back of you, and on the ledge, yeah, and pretty much is looking out to the stars, and pretty much doing a whole like a tough side. Now this is where Kishan Chia comes in, and he pretty much sits by, asks Deku, "Can I sit by the side?" Which Deku says, "Yeah." Now, Kishan sitting beside Deku is saying, "So Deku, how you doing?" Which Deku saying, "I'm doing alright." Which Kishan does a smile and says, "Yeah, I know you're lying, but it's whatever. Do you want to bring back your mom? Do you want to bring back your mom, or have all the wishes you want to come true? Which Deku is saying, yeah, right. Like anyone can bring back wishes or make things come true. Which this is where Keyshawn smiles and says, "Well, I got a thing for you. There's this book right here I have that pretty much decays the ladder to the galaxy stars, or you could say to the galaxy. Now, they pretty much help you reach to higher standards, higher than heaven itself. It helps you reach to the galaxy, which like was saying, what does the galaxy do? He says, I don't know. It could probably make you be powerful enough to bring back your mom or anything. Which this is where he gives them a book and pretty much says, well, I should be going now. See ya. Now, this is where you could say Deku is trying to stop Kishan, trying to stop time, but it doesn't work because, like I said, Kishan is the galaxy god and he's very powerful. So he teleports away and gets out of there. Now Deku pretty much is trying to figure out what the hell is how the hell that pretty much how the hell that pretty much happened. Like who the hell was pretty much him? But he just says whatever. Now he grabs the book and pretty much opens it and he reads a context of him. And this context pretty much says those who have the power or the world in their hands. Or have the world in their hands can pretty much reach to this limit. Or it has or if you're an ultimate life form, you can reach to the galaxy or reach to the stairs of galaxy. Now or K's letters. Now pretty much Deku only reads half of it. And pretty much sits down. Now this is where sorry. Jeffrey comes and he's pretty much asking if Deku's alright. Now Deku says he's alright and he pretty much just sit with Deku to look at the stars. Well, yeah, look at the stars. Now Deku pretty much says he's gonna go to bed. Just make sure make sure Kanshan doesn't do anything stupid or break none of my shit while I'm going to sleep. Which uh Jeffrey says alright. Now the next day, this is gonna be the 10 months. Deku pretty much looks at the book, looks at the book and he reads it. Now he begins to read the steps and he starts saying this book is crazy. This book is like not right. Like it's bizarre. It's not it's quite not original. Like it's bizarre. It's not what the hell? This this look like it can take centuries, take years of past. But since I have time, I can do this by a matter of like a matter of days. Now, as you could say, Deku is pretty much reading the book, and I tell you what the book says. So the first one is you have to find you have to find you have to find a friend. You have to find a friend or a best friend, which this friend is not, which is not worthy, which is a pure saint, like a version of like a version of saint that didn't ever have drugs, didn't do anything like this pure out perfect, you could say, and it's not, and he or she is not tempted by lust, sex or anything. None of that. Now, Deku already knows his best friend Jeffrey, and his Jeffrey wants to become, you could say, a pure saint, a priest, you could say, 100%. Now, now the book also says you have to find a pure sinner of a best friend that, you know, is tempted by lust, sex, power, and all that stuff. And Bakugo is the perfect person. Now, regularly in the anime, you could say Bakugo regularly just wants to kick Deku's ass and shit and just to become the hero, but he also has some if they wanted to make it adult, Bakugo could have did all that stuff. But we're going to skip past that now. As Deku's ring, he says, "Okay, I have both of those people. Now what's next?" Now, the book says you have to collect 7 saints and 7 sinners. Now, and you must bring them all together to meet each other, and they must co-align with each other. You could say, as you could say, making, you could say, fall in love with each other. You could say fall in love with each other into a whole mask. Now, pretty much Deku. Well, you could say meeting each other. They have to meet each other and collide with each other. You could say. Now, Deku found 7 saints and 7 sinners, and he pretty much brought them all together in one spot. Now, as he's thinking, now he reads the next step. It says, now he must, have his have one of his bones to pretty much to have you take one of his bones and pretty much put it in the middle between the saint and sinners. And as he did that, which that pretty much hurt, but he has regenerative capabilities, so it's regenerating. It pretty much you could say puts a round circle and starts to, you could say, harvest the saints and sinners. Now, as the saints and sinners or as the saints and sinners is getting harvested, they're pretty much turning into trees. Well, turning into one tree, and this one tree is called the Adam and Eve tree. Now, only the purest saint can have the apple, and that's Jeffrey. So, as you could say, pretty much Deku grabs the apple, and he also see another plant. Now, this is where he sees a ring. Well, pretty much this is where he sees a ring in the tree, and the ring is for Bakugo, the center ring. Now, as you could say, Deku begins to go. He gives the apple to pretty much Jeffrey, and already told him like he needs some help to reach to the galaxy to bring back his mom. He already told him the thing which Jeffrey agreed upon because he loves Deku more than you could say God itself, or you could say God itself, which I'm gonna be honest with you. Only Keyshawn is the galaxy god, but hey, you could say that now. As Deku smiles, Jeffrey eats that. Now, Jeffrey goes to changes. You could say it changes. The apple, it will give you, you could say a stand, but also it starts to change you rapidly. Change your, you could say, sex build. Now, Jeffrey starts going to, you could say, a little bit of a painful stage of transforming into a male to a female now. So, as Jeffrey transforms into a female, uh, Deku have Jeffrey in his house, and Jeffrey is about to be a her. So she's transformed. He's transformed into a her now. Now, as that happening, Deku gives Bakugo the ring and pretty much says, to make sure to train for 10 months, which Bakugo says, all right. Now, as Bakugo training, you could say, as Bakugo training, he's pretty much is feeling power. You could say lust for power, as he's quite getting, get stronger, get physical, and he realized he'd been getting a lot more, lustful and hungry and strong, and wants to eat more, and wants to get stronger, and gets pissed off more. He realized that more. Now, what is happening to Bakugo? He's pretty much is the sin bearer, we could say. He's pretty much the sin bearer, and he's pretty much have all the seven sins in, which that will be needed for later. Now, as that is happening, pretty much, Baku's body changes too, you could say. Now, Deku is doing the other perceived parts, as he, as you could say, and this is where Deku needs to create light. Create a life. Now, this is where the book says it has to create life with the one who ate the apple. Now, Deku was pretty much blushing and saying, so that's why he was turning into a girl. Now, Keishon comes back down and pretty much saying, huh, so you're actually doing the steps of the book. I see you got determination now. Deku is saying, so in this book, does that, does this really mean I have to do it with my best friend? Which, Keishon looks at the book and says, oh yeah, you have to do those procedure steps to get this 100% going. Which, you could say, you could say, Bakugo says, I mean, I take whatever it takes to bring back my mom. Now, Keishon pretty much says, well, I'm just here to town to probably get some food. I wanted to get some ramen noodles. I'm pretty hungry. So see ya. And this is where Deku was saying Zawado, trying to stop time, which it doesn't work. Keishon disappears. Now, this is where you could say Deku pretty much asks, you could say asks Jeffrey if she can, be the one to bear his child, which she's pretty much, blushing and saying, if it's for your dream, I will, gladly give my virgin body up to you. Now, this is where the 18 part happened. I might as well put in detail. So, what the hell? Might as well put this in detail. I'm not gonna hold no baby stuff for y'all. We're not gonna say they just did it. Nah, I'm gonna put this in detail for y'all guys because I spoil y'all too much. Yeah, y'all my favorite kids. Well, not kids, but my favorite people and my children, you could say. Now, Deku begins to lay down. You could say Jeffrey. Now, he undresses her, and he starts to begin undress. Now, he begins to kissing her down to the neck and stuff, and she begins to do slight moans. Now, as he goes to press, he begins to grab one of them and begins to, you could say, play around with them and making her all wet and stuff. Now, Deku begins to, you could say, finger the vagina and making sure it's extra wet, guaranteed FTD approval. Now, as she's wet, he begins to put it in. Now, she begins to moan all of a sudden. Now, that goes on in and out, and this is where you could say Deku, dead nuts in the vagina, you could say. Now, as that happens, pretty much, uh, Deku, Deku's, uh, laying by the side of the bed, just like saying, well, at least, at least she's a she now. He's not a he, she's a she, so that's whatever now. You could say Jeffrey is now, uh, is now pretty much laying beside Deku and saying, can I be called, Jay now? So my family, so my family doesn't know that I'm a woman now, which this is where Deku says, yeah, of course. And she asks to live with him now, which Deku says, yeah. Since he pretty much asks her to do all this stuff. Now, we're gonna say for 5 months, Deku been doing the rest of the procedures and reading the cipher, the words that Jane has to remember, that she has to remember to tell the baby, or you could say to say to the baby. And these are the words. So if you want to remember these words, I listen very closely. All right. Now, these words are pretty much, very much is for the baby, because the baby will have a stand. The baby will be human slash half with the vampire blood, but also will be having a stand that will be the key. Now, I will pretty much tell the stand. I mean, tell you the words, the key words to pretty much reaching to a higher level. Now, let me say. Now, these are the words: love, pain, happiness, saint, saint, sinner, hatred, blood, gore, and then you recite one last word, and this is God, and then the other last one is preacher. Well, emperor, which is pretty much emperor is as God, but it's a different emperor. Well, galaxy emperor, you could say. Now, these are the recite words that she must tell to the baby, and Jane pretty much remembered it. Now, I'm gonna say for the last couple months, Deku been, you could say, making more recruits and getting stronger and stuff, and also testing out his world and seeing what he can do, see if he can make his time any longer and stuff. Now, the baby is coming up faster, being birthed any more faster than usual because this is the baby that is, supposed to be birthed faster. Now, the stomach's bigger and stuff, and Deku goes and check on Jane to make sure she's alright and stuff, and cooks for her. You could say cooks for her and stuff, and all that stuff. Now, this is where the baby's being born in these last couple months. Now, this is where Deku pretty much, you know, gets the baby and looks. Now, this baby is pretty much opens up its eyes, and this baby eyes has that of stars. You could say star eyes. And Deku was saying, well, is this supposed to happen? Which he pretty much remembers in the book that the baby eyes is supposed to be righteous as stars. I mean, as glorious and as stars that you can get lost in. You could say get lost in them. Which Deku looks and says, yeah, this is definitely right now. Funny, the baby is starting to be grown, but as you could say, Jane is taking care of the baby. She's pretty much telling. Well, you could say saying the cipher and stuff, and also the baby is, you could say, growing extra fast because of the cipher. Now, Deku reads the last step, that pretty much, and this last step is pretty much saying that he has to destroy. He has to. He must be destroyed. He has to destroy himself, or have something powerful enough to destroy him and stand. And he must die, as to, you could say, reset himself to fully evolve. Now, Deku was pretty much looking and saying, she's not going to be happy about this. Which, there's a other option, but the only true option is he has to, have his stand in himself to get destroyed. Now, this is where, you know, Jaden's asking what's the next step, but this is where Deku says, let's just enjoy our time together and also watch over our son. Now, as the boy is pretty much growing in these last couple months, the baby's already, you could say, as Deku size and Jane's size. Now, the boy's already smart and stuff, and he has a stand, and the stand is called Blue Moon. Blue Moon. He already had stand for birth, and it was like, moonlight, and then it went up to Blue Moon, and now it's like full. Now it's like Blue Moon now. Now, their son is named, you could say, Star, because he has eyes of star. Now, as their son's talking, Star is pretty much saying, Father, which exactly says son. Now, this is where you could say Star is pretty much talking to his dad and stuff. He's saying, so are we going to go to the UAI? Which Deku says, yeah, I already have it signed, so you can, experience friends and stuff and happiness and all that. Which he's pretty much decided and stuff. Now, Deku did that because A, he just doesn't want nothing to happen to his, you know, son, and B, he's also wants his son to, experience emotions and everything because the for the procedures to actually 100 to get the 100 gear proceed, luck, he has to experience emotions, love, pain, hatred. He has to experience all the emotions of a human being. Now, as they go on, pretty much we could say Star is very happy that he's with his mom and dad, and Jane and Deku is pretty much talking to each other. This is where Bakuman comes in and starts to say, "What's up, guys?" and pretty much smile. Now, Bucko, you could say, like I said, went to change it because of the ring, the the ring of sin, or the ring, or the ring of sin. Now, Deku, now Bucko has some tattoos on himself, and he also his hair is much different. He's much more cockier, but he been training, you could say, because like I said, he has the seventh syndrome in that ring, and also they influence him. So he's greedy, he's lustful, he has a lot of pride, so much pride that he can overwhelm someone, and he definitely has wrath for him. He gets pissed much easier if anyone wants to piss him off. So pretty much he's with Deku, which Deku's saying, hey Kashan, what you ready? Which he says, hell yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to kick all these losers' asses. Now, as they're all walking in there, this is where, like, Baka says, hey girl, what's your name? Which, this is where Deku says, that was Jeffrey before he turned into a female, which, uh, Baka says, what? That's Jeffrey? Which, no, which, you could say, Jane now says, yeah, taken now. This is where, you could say, Baka says, okay, well, do you still want to, do it? Which Jane says, uh, well, my name is, well, I kind of changed my name to Jane now, and also, I already did it with I already did it with Deku. He's he's my first, which Wako says, what? And you didn't tell me all of this? Which Deku says, oh, I'm sorry, my bad. It's just I had to, you know, I just came first. Which Wako is pissed off, but he says whatever. Now they head to the building and they're all talking. They're pretty much all still talking and stuff, including Star. Star is like looking around, enjoying the view, like looking at people and stuff, and very happy because, like I said, he's supposed to experience everything. Now, this is where you could say Eon trying to tell him to be quiet, and this is where Deku stops time and teleports him. You could say takes him outside while he stops time, and then Baku's saying, "Where did you go?" Which Deku smiles and says, don't worry about it. Let's just continue focusing on this thing." Now, as they're focusing on the thing, they're pretty much doing the test. I mean, they're pretty much doing the IQ test. Now, Deku comes in first. Jane comes in second because she's pretty intelligent. And Star, he comes in third. Actually, Star beats Deku because Star is, you could say, birthed at the full moon. I forgot to tell you in the book. It says the baby you have to pretty much do it in the full moon, and then the baby will be birthed. That of the stars and stuff. So yeah, yeah, the baby's extremely smart, and also I should tell you his stand, but I'll tell you his stand when we get to the robots thing. Now, as everything else, Deku pretty much passes Eve and also the rest of them. And this is where we get to the robot part. Now, this is where the teacher explains the robot and says, "Are you marked? Get set, go." Now everybody's going stuff, including Star. Now Star is flying. It's fine. Now this is where he makes his stand appear, and Deku sees and says, "Huh." Well, this is where Star asks his dad, "Can he use the stand?" Which Deku says, "Go ahead." Now, this is where Stardust pretty much, activate his stand, and he pretty much calls it out. Blue Moon. Now, this is where a stand of a figure of a, you could say, looks like a moon. Looks like that of a, you could say, of an alien, but also it has like a moon carvings on its on his you could say knee, and on his belt it says M. Now, this is where it has a halo around its head, and it's pretty much, you could say, look pretty cool. Now, for the abilities of Blue Moon, it has pretty much different abilities that of Sea Moon. Now, it has gravity, but it has gravity, you know, set to zero, which gravity set to zero pretty much makes everything body crashes down, kind of like that planet. Like it makes everything crash down instead of like floating up. It crashes down, like crushes people, like on their weight. So they're pretty much like falling down. Now, imagine that thing from Dragon Ball when Goku landed on King Kai's planet. It's like that, but like much worse. And his other ability is pretty much barrage punches, but like full barrage punches, as whoever's around the radius as he's doing barrage punches, even if he doesn't hit the target, they will feel the full force of getting punches and all that. Now, another passive ability is he can fly, so he can fly around. And then I think his last ability is pretty much what must come. Actually, he has two more abilities. His third ability is Meteor Crash, where he can summon meteors that can crash down to, hit targets and stuff. And the last ability is what must comes up, must comes down. So basically, he can pretty much make anything go up in the sky or out of space, and then he can make them drop down, or he can just make things just keep going up without, you know, coming down. Now, as everybody's seen, him pretty much uses quirk stuff. Everybody's saying, what kind of quirk does he have? And all the teachers are talking like, what kind of quirk does he have and all that. Now, Abai is looking and saying, huh, that's unique. Now, everybody's looking at Deku. Now, Deku is pretty much using his stand, uh, the world, but he's making it transparent so no one can see it. Only he can, use it. Now, they're just seeing robots get destroyed. He's not letting anyone see his stand. And people is pretty much saying, what the, like, why is he, now they're just giving Deku points because they know that's him. And he's throwing knives at robots and stuff. And now, what's Jane doing? She's pretty much rescuing people, healing stuff, but she has, you could say, a passive ability called Life Tree, where she can summon trees and stuff. But she has a stand, which I know what you're thinking. Is her stand? Oh, well, let me guess. Her stand is gonna be White Snake. No, her stand is pretty much gonna be Adam and Eve, which she summoned. Well, she can summon pretty much Adam and Eve, like that from that, not from a holy Bible, but from something or somewhere else, from the galaxy. Adam and Eve, different thing. Now they both be summoned, and they're pretty much, you could say, naked, pretty much naked, and right beside her, saying, "What did you ask for us to do?" Which they're pretty much, you know, touching up on her, and she's pretty much blushing and saying, "Can y'all please just help me destroy these robots?" Which they say, "As you wish." Now, Eve has nature capabilities and stuff to pretty much summon trees and stuff, or create animals or life to attack anything and all that stuff. Now, Adam, he has strength to destroy robots and stuff, and also knows, you could say, fighting capabilities and stuff, but also he can summon lightning and other elements like water and lava and stuff. Now, they're pretty much doing their job and stuff, and they're pretty much looking at, Jane, saying, "Jane, if you can get in, if we get you in first, do we get a special award?" Pretty much both of them are looking at their tongue, which, you could say, Jane is blushing, saying, "If y'all can get me in first," and she looks away. Now, Deku is pretty much looking and says, and gives his thumbs up, saying, "Where to go?" Now, and she's saying, "Don't do that." Now, this is where you can say Deku thinks he got enough points and pretty much about to be go. Until Uraka. Uraka is pretty much is screaming for help. Now, this is where Deku says, huh. And the Zero Point robot is, coming. And this is where he does the whole time and pretty much says, huh, Zawado! And pretty much says, real! And he jumps out. Now, where is he going? Well, this is a special part. This is where the time is counting down. And he's pretty much saying five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pretty much set the roller, you could say, down into the face of the robot. It starts punching it down. Now, this is the funny part. You're gonna be like, what? How did this? Just trust me. Now, this is where the robot begins to start moving. Now, this is where Keyshawn sees that Deku stop time and says, you know what? I want the robot to have a fighting chance. Let's let's just give this robot time to move around and begins to start to try to fight back. Now the robot starts, moving and the robot begins to start to punch the roller back. They're pretty much trying to move it out the way, but Deku already was ahead, so he's like saying useless, useless, yes, and the robot's fighting back. Now this is where he says useless, and this is where he says just for good measures, and throw knives at the robot's kneecaps. Now this is where he pretty much jumps back and says, now this is power. And it pretty much, the robot gets crushed by the steamroller. And plus, the knives hit you could say, wires of the knees in, so it's falling down. And this is where the steamroller blows up and everything starts flying around. Now Deku says, kind of maybe went overboard with that roller. Now, this is where Deku helps with Rocket and asks if she's alright. No, she's saying yeah, she's alright, and thank you. Oh, sorry about that, guys. But let's continue. Pretty much, Deku is, saying yeah, you're welcome and stuff, and begins to walk away. And she asks what is his name, which he's pretty much saying, it's Deku. Deku Brando. Which, she said, okay. Now, this is where Deku is walking away. Pretty much saying, come on, let's go. Which, Jane pretty much, she gets up. You could say gets up because she was watching the whole thing happen. And also Star is pretty much saying, Dad, did you see me? Mom, did y'all see me? I was killing it out there, which Deku and Jane says, yeah. Now, they're pretty much going together. And they're walking. Now, next day, they're all in the house. And Star, he's pretty much, you could say, doing that of a childish ways. And he has a pet, and he's pretty much happy and stuff, and doing things. And all that stuff. Now, this is where they get the acceptance letter, all three of them. And Deku pretty much, he gets in second, because we're going to say Adam and Eve, Galaxy Adam and Eve, pretty much want to really get that extra treat, you could say, from Jane. And he says, I got in second. And this is where Jane says, oh boy. And she gets in first, which Adam and Eve comes out, and they pretty much say, so about that treat, about that reward, which they begins to take her to start flying her to the room, which Deku, which she calls out Deku for help, which Deku says, that sounds, I gotta do some things. Which Star is pretty much saying, can I come with you there? Which, Deku says, yeah. Now, this is part 2 of What If Deku was Dio Brando. If you like, leave a like, comment, and all that stuff. But time for me to do the rest of the videos and stuff. But I'm Keyshawn Chia. Thanks for watching, and peace out.
you lost another one.